You know, in a world that's just drowning in notifications and endless scrolling, there's one skill that's becoming your most valuable asset. It's kind of like a quiet superpower, and in the next few minutes, we're going to show you exactly how to unlock it.
So let me just ask you this. At the end of the day, do you ever look back at just a flurry of activity, emails, meetings, messages, and just wonder what you actually got done? I mean, you felt busy for sure, but were you truly productive? It's a feeling I think most of us know all too well.
Well, that feeling really boils down to this fundamental conflict in how we work. On one side, you've got deep work. That's the intense, focused stuff where real value gets created. And on the other side, shallow work, all those distracted, logistical tasks that are, honestly, pretty easy to replicate. Our professional lives are just this constant tug-of-war between the two.
And here's the thing, most of us are losing this battle. We're spending our days drowning in the shallows. And it's completely changing how we work, how we think, and the value we create.
I mean, just look at the data. It paints a pretty stark picture. A McKinsey study found that the average knowledge worker spends over 60% of their week on digital communication and web searching. Just think about that for a second. Nearly a third of your entire work week could be spent just on email. It's wild.
This constant state of busyness has a name. We call it shallow work. It's all that administrative churn, replying to emails, scheduling meetings, those quick little check-ins. These things keep you occupied, absolutely, but they don't push your brain or create any lasting value. And let's be honest, they're the kind of tasks that are really easily automated or outsourced.
So what's driving this whole epidemic of shallowness? Well, the main culprits are what we call network tools. Things like email, social media, Slack. These platforms are literally engineered to fragment our attention. They thrive on quick responses and constant engagement, making it incredibly easy to feel busy while accomplishing very, very little. And for most people, this has just become the default way to work.
But okay, here's the good news. For every problem, there's a solution. And the solution to drowning in the shallows is a really powerful one: learning how to go deep. Deep work is the total opposite of all that scattered, shallow stuff we just talked about. It's that state of being completely immersed, totally free from distractions, just tackling a single, mentally demanding task. It's that flow state where you push your skills to their absolute limit and you produce work that actually matters.
The acclaimed author Neil Stephenson, he puts the trade-off just perfectly. He says he can either have long, uninterrupted chunks of time to write novels that last forever, or he can have a life full of interruptions that produces, well, a bunch of emails.
And this isn't just a principle for famous novelists. I mean, take a look at Jason Benyan. He was a financial consultant who had this terrifying realization. His entire job could probably be automated by a simple script. So he quit. And in a really radical move to retrain his brain, he locked himself in a room with just textbooks and note cards, no computer, no phone, and taught himself how to code from scratch. And the result? It's incredible. Within just 6 months of committing to deep work, Jason went from a $40,000 a year job to a $100,000 a year developer position at a top tech startup. Now that is the tangible, life-changing power of focus.
Jason's story isn't some weird fluke. The ability to go deep isn't just a nice-to-have skill anymore. It is quickly becoming the superpower of the 21st century economy. So let's talk about why.
In our crazy, rapidly changing economy, there are really two core abilities you need to thrive. First, you need to be able to learn complicated things fast. And second, you need to be able to produce work at an elite level. We're talking both quality and speed. Deep work is the key that unlocks both of them. And there's this fascinating neurological reason why this works. When you focus intensely on a specific skill, your brain wraps this fatty substance called myelin around the neurons involved. You can think of it like insulating an electrical wire. It makes that whole neural circuit fire way faster and more efficiently. So deep work doesn't just feel productive, it literally rewires your brain for high performance.
But the true payoff of this superpower isn't just about the money. It's not just about getting a bigger paycheck or a better title. The principles of deep work actually have the power to transform your life far, far beyond the office.
As the source material puts it so perfectly, a deep life is a good life. When you commit to depth, it doesn't just make you better at what you do. It connects your work to this real sense of craftsmanship and meaning. And that leads to way more professional and personal fulfillment.
So we'll leave you with this question to think about. If you deliberately carved out the space to eliminate distraction and to truly focus, what could you build? What could you create or master? What would your deep life look like?